Imagine this. You've just finished dinner. Your body is quiet on the outside, but inside something extraordinary is happening. Your blood is starting to fill with sugar, hundreds of milligrams flooding into your bloodstream every minute. Your pancreas is screaming for help. Your muscles are deciding whether to listen. And in the next 10 minutes, you're going to make a choice that changes everything. Most people think it doesn't matter when you walk, just that you do it. Morning, afternoon, after dinner, who cares, right? But here's what almost no one tells you. Walking immediately after eating does something completely different to your body than walking before eating. Different hormones, different fuel sources, different outcomes. And the wildest part? A recent study published in 2025 found that just 10 minutes of walking at the right time can control your blood sugar better than 30 minutes at the wrong time. Stay with me, because what happens next is rarely talked about. You're about to see inside your own body, minute by minute, system by system, and understand why timing might be the most underrated tool you have. Let's talk about the invisible war happening inside you right now. Your bloodstream is like a highway. After you eat, sugar floods onto that highway, fast. Within 30 to 60 minutes, glucose levels can spike dramatically. For most people, blood sugar can jump from around 90 milligrams per deciliter to 180 milligrams per deciliter or higher. That's not just a number, that's your body under stress. Why does this matter? Because every time your blood sugar spikes and crashes, it's not neutral. It creates oxidative stress. Think of it like rust forming on the inside of your blood vessels. Over time, these repeated spikes damage your endothelial cells, the delicate lining of your arteries. This isn't just about diabetes. Studies show that postprandial hyperglycemia, the fancy term for high blood sugar after meals, is linked to cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and even dementia, regardless of whether you have diabetes. Here's the jaw-dropping part. Sustained high blood sugar after meals is a major driver of HbA1c elevation, which increases cardiovascular mortality risk. Even in healthy people, peak glucose levels during meals predict future heart disease risk. But your body isn't broken, it's brilliant. Your muscles are like warehouses with smart locks. They store glucose, but only when they're given the right signal. Normally, insulin is the key. But here's what most people don't know. Muscle contraction is a second key, a completely separate pathway that works even when insulin isn't doing its job well. When your muscles contract during a walk, they activate proteins called GLUT4 transporters. Think of them as thousands of tiny doors that open up on your muscle cells, pulling glucose out of your bloodstream like a vacuum cleaner. This happens independently of insulin. It's your body's backup system, and it's powerful. The problem? Most people sit still after eating. They let that sugar stay in their blood, forcing their pancreas to work overtime, forcing insulin levels to surge, creating inflammation and stress. This has been happening inside your body without you noticing, maybe for years. Let's walk through what happens inside your body in two scenarios: walking before eating versus walking after eating. I want you to see this like a movie playing inside your cells. Scenario 1, walking before eating, fasted state. Phase 1, the fasted morning, 0 to 15 minutes into your walk. You wake up, you haven't eaten in 10 to 12 hours. Your body is in what scientists call a fasted state. Here's what's happening. Your liver's glycogen stores, essentially your body's sugar battery, are running low, but not empty. Your insulin levels are at baseline, quiet and calm. Your body releases cortisol and glucagon, hormones that say, we need energy and we need it from storage. The moment you start walking, your muscles start contracting. They need fuel, but there's no fresh glucose from food. So your body does something elegant. It starts breaking down stored fat. An enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase activates. It's like a key that unlocks your fat cells. Fatty acids are released into your bloodstream and delivered to your muscles, where they're burned for energy. You're literally running on fat. Why it happens? Your body is adaptive. In the absence of incoming food, it prioritizes metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch fuel sources. Fasted exercise enhances this flexibility over time. What signal your body is responding to? Low insulin, elevated cortisol, depleted glycogen. How your body is adapting. Your muscles become better at burning fat. Your mitochondria, the energy factories inside your cells, get better at using fatty acids. Over weeks and months, this improves something called fat oxidation capacity. Phase 2. After the walk, before breakfast, 15 to 30 minutes post-walk. You finish your walk. You're still fasted. Inside, your muscles are now primed. Glut. 4 transporters are still active on the surface of your muscle cells, even though you're not moving anymore. This effect lasts for hours. When you finally eat breakfast, here's what happens. Glucose from your meal enters your bloodstream, but this time your muscles are ready. Those glut 4 doors are wide open. Glucose gets pulled into muscle cells rapidly with less insulin needed. Your blood sugar rises more gently. No dramatic spike. The benefit? You get better insulin sensitivity. Your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard. You avoid that post-meal energy crash. But here's the catch. Fasted exercise can increase cortisol levels, especially if done intensely or for too long. For some people, especially those with adrenal stress or hormonal imbalances, this can be counterproductive. It's why gentle walking works better than intense running when fasted. Scenario 2. Walking after eating, fed state. Phase 1. The meal, 0 to 10 minutes after eating. You sit down and eat. Maybe it's rice, pasta, bread, fruit, carbohydrates. Within minutes, your stomach starts breaking down food. Glucose begins entering your bloodstream. Your pancreas detects the sugar and releases insulin like an alarm bell. Insulin's job is to tell your cells, take the sugar in, store it, use it. But here's the problem. If you're sitting still, your muscles don't need much energy. They ignore the insulin. The glucose stays in your blood longer. Your insulin levels rise higher and higher, trying to force the sugar into cells. This is called postprandial hyperglycemia, and it's happening right now in millions of people. Within 30 to 60 minutes, blood sugar peaks. For some, it can hit 180 milligrams per deciliter or higher. That's stress. That's oxidative damage. That's inflammation. Phase 2. You start walking, 10 minutes after eating. Now imagine you stand up and start walking, just a gentle, comfortable pace, immediately after your meal. Here's what changes. Your muscles start contracting. Glut. 4 transporters rush to the surface of muscle cells. Glucose is pulled directly from your bloodstream into your muscles. No insulin required. Your blood sugar rise is blunted. Instead of spiking to 180 milligrams per deciliter, it might only reach 150 milligrams per deciliter. A groundbreaking 2025 study published in Scientific Reports found that a 10-minute walk immediately after eating lowered blood sugar more effectively than a 30-minute walk starting 30 minutes after eating. Let me repeat that. 10 minutes immediately after eating beats 30 minutes later. Why? Because timing is everything. By the time you wait 30 minutes, your blood sugar has already spiked. The damage is done. But when you walk immediately, you intercept the glucose as it's entering your bloodstream. You're catching it at the door. Phase 3. The afterglow. 30 to 120 minutes post-meal. You finished your 10-minute walk. You sit back down. But here's the magic. The effects don't stop. Your muscles stay insulin sensitive for hours. Your blood sugar curve is smoother, not spiky. Your mean glucose levels, the average over the next 2 hours, are significantly lower. Your peak glucose, the highest point, is lower. In the 2025 study, participants who walked for 10 minutes immediately after eating had lower glucose area under the curve, AUC, compared to sitting still, lower mean blood sugar over 2 hours, lower peak blood sugar, the most dangerous spike. And here's the kicker. They reported lower perceived exertion, it felt easier, and no gastrointestinal discomfort. Walking right after eating didn't upset their stomachs. It helped. Phase 4. The long-term effect. Weeks to months. If you do this consistently, walk for just 10 minutes after meals 3 times a day, your body starts to change at a deeper level. Your muscle cells grow more mitochondria. Your insulin receptors become more sensitive. Your HbA1c, a 3-month average of blood sugar, drops. Your risk of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and metabolic syndrome decreases. One meta-analysis found that even 2 to 5 minutes of light walking after meals can significantly reduce postprandial, glucose, and insulin responses in adults with obesity. Your body isn't failing you. It's responding intelligently to the signals you give it. Let's zoom into the research, because this isn't just theory. It's hard science. What scientists used to believe for decades, the standard advice was, exercise 30 minutes after eating. The reasoning was that you shouldn't walk on a full stomach. It might cause cramping or digestive issues. But new research is overturning that advice. The 2025 breakthrough study, published in Scientific Reports, Nature, researchers tested 3 conditions in healthy young adults. Control group: sit still after drinking a glucose solution, 75 grams, equivalent to a big meal. 10-minute walk immediately after. Walk at a comfortable pace right after consuming glucose. 30-minute walk, 30 minutes later. Sit for 30 minutes, then walk for 30 minutes. The results shocked even the researchers. The 10-minute walk immediately after had the lowest blood sugar, AUC, area under the curve. It had the lowest mean glucose over 2 hours. It had the lowest peak glucose, the most dangerous spike. The 30-minute walk done later, it helped, but not as much. Why? Because by the time you start walking 30 minutes later, your blood sugar has already peaked. You've missed the critical window. The mechanism: GLUT4 and muscle contraction. Here's what happens at the cellular level. When your muscles contract during walking, they activate a protein called AMPK, AMP, activated protein kinase. Think of AMPK as a cellular energy sensor. When it's activated, it triggers GLUT4 glucose transporters to move from inside the muscle cell to the surface, like opening garage doors. This process happens completely independently of insulin. It's why walking after eating works even in people with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. A 2013 study in Diabetes Care found that 3 15-minute bouts of moderate walking after meals significantly improved 24-hour glycemic control in older adults better than a single 45-minute walk at another time of day. Fasted walking, the fat-burning advantage. What about walking before eating? A 2016 meta-analysis in the British Journal of Nutrition concluded, aerobic exercise performed in the fasted state induces higher fat oxidation than exercise performed in the fed state. When you walk before breakfast, your body uses more fat for fuel. You improve metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch between burning carbs and fats. You may enhance long-term fat loss. But here's the caveat. Fasted exercise can increase cortisol. If you're chronically stressed, sleep-deprived, or have hormonal imbalances, fasted exercise might backfire. It can raise cortisol too high, leading to fat storage, especially around the belly, and adrenal fatigue. The digestion question. Does walking after eating hurt your stomach? Many people worry, won't walking immediately after eating cause cramps or indigestion? The research says no. In fact, the opposite is true. The 2025 study measured gastrointestinal discomfort using a visual analog scale. Participants reported virtually no stomach discomfort when walking immediately after glucose intake, the same low levels as those who waited 30 minutes. But there's more. Light walking actually aids digestion. It stimulates peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions in your intestines that move food through your digestive tract. This can reduce bloating, gas, and that heavy, sluggish feeling after meals. The key word is light. We're talking about a comfortable conversational pace, around 3 to 4 kilometers per hour. You're not sprinting, you're not power walking, you're strolling. This gentle movement supports digestion without diverting blood flow away from your stomach. So if you've been avoiding post-meal walks because you thought they'd upset your stomach, the science suggests you can let that worry go. Who should not do fasted walking? Pregnant or breastfeeding women, people with a history of disordered eating, individuals with diabetes, especially type 1, without medical supervision, anyone with adrenal issues or chronic fatigue. The takeaway: fasted walking is a tool, not a rule. Listen to your body. The Japanese +10 campaign. In Japan, public health officials analyzed 26 cohort studies and found that increasing physical activity by just 10 minutes per day reduces the risk of non-communicable diseases, dementia, and mortality by 3.2% on average. They launched a national campaign called Plus 10, encouraging people to add just 10 minutes of movement to their daily routine. The 2025 study I mentioned, it's being used as evidence for this campaign, specifically recommending a 10-minute walk immediately after meals. So here's where we've been. We started with confusion. Does it matter when I walk? Then we saw the hidden truth. Your body responds completely differently depending on timing. Walk before eating, and you tap into fat stores. You enhance metabolic flexibility. You train your body to be a better fat burner. Walk after eating, especially immediately after, and you intercept the glucose spike. You protect your blood vessels. You lower inflammation. You save your pancreas from overwork. Both are powerful, both are intelligent, but they're not the same. And here's the most important part. This isn't magic, it's partnership. Your body isn't your enemy. It's not broken because your blood sugar spikes or you gain weight. It's responding to the environment you create. It's adaptive. It's trying to protect you. When you walk after eating, you're giving your body a signal. I'm moving, I need this energy, let's use it. When you walk before eating, you're saying, we're relying on reserves, let's get efficient. Both are conversations with yourselves. Both are acts of respect. The real-world application. Let me make this practical for you. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't even need workout clothes. After breakfast, lunch, and dinner, stand up. Walk around your house. Walk around the block. Walk in your backyard. Walk in place while watching TV. Just move for 10 minutes. That's it. Before breakfast, optional. If you're metabolically healthy and well-rested, try a gentle 15 to 20-minute walk. Keep it light. Notice how you feel. If you feel energized, great. If you feel drained, shaky, or anxious, skip the fasted walk. Your body is giving you feedback. Listen, the beauty of this approach, it's flexible, it's forgiving. It meets you where you are. Maybe you're a busy parent, walk after dinner while your kids play outside. Maybe you work from home, walk after lunch during your break. Maybe you're retired. Make post-meal walks a ritual, a time to think, to breathe, to be present. This is sustainable, this is doable, this is life-changing. Now I want to hear from you. What surprised you most? The biology, the timeline, or the idea that your body is protecting you rather than sabotaging you? Have you tried walking after meals? What did you notice? More energy, better digestion, better sleep? Or maybe you've been walking fasted in the mornings. How does it make you feel? Share your thoughts in the comments. Someone reading your experience might need it. Your story could be the nudge someone else needs to start. And if you want more science-based explanations without hype, just calm, clear, evidence-backed insights into what's happening inside your body, subscribe. In the next video, we'll explore what most people get wrong about fasting and hormones, and why ignoring this one thing can quietly undo everything you're working toward. You've got this. Your body is smarter than you think. Let's work with it, not against it.